Well, it finally happened, so we're going to talk about it coming up. As you may or may not know, these lead-acid batteries that Tesla uses don't seem to hold up over 4 years, and they tend to die before that. There's tons of talk online where basically if you have an older Model 3, you should probably get the lead-acid battery changed ASAP, and that way it doesn't die and leave you stranded like me. So for a bit of background, we have a 2018 Model 3, which we bought in December of that year, so it's almost 4 years old, and it left us stranded. So what I mean by that is it was totally dead. It was a big piece of, a pile of metal that was just like a big paperweight sitting there. And this literally is the Achilles heel of Tesla that everybody talks about. So when I say stranded, it was like the car was totally dead. Only some of the doors opened, the screen wouldn't turn on, windows didn't move, nothing. It was literally like a pile of metal sitting there. I know our car is a bit older, and maybe I should have preemptively just changed the 12 volt myself since it's super easy to do. It's just as easy to do as an ICE car or a gas car. But basically I didn't do it because I have the latest update. And in this latest update, or one of the updates, they have a notification now where it tells you, hey, your 12 volt is low. You should probably change it very soon. So I was thinking, well, I have that update. It should tell us when the battery's getting low. It should be fine. I'll just leave it until it actually tells me that. Well, nope. The car just died out of nowhere and left my wife stranded. Tesla did do a good job servicing the car though. So basically when I got down there to help her, I immediately put in a request for roadside assistance. And basically they texted me and said, hey, we're working on it. We'll let you know when we have a tow truck company come and get the car. And so because the car is still under the 4-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, just barely, tows like this where the car is non-operational is free. So basically they tow the car to Tesla and they, were in contact with me. They told me about an hour later, hey, we have a tow truck company coming to get the car. He'll be in contact with you and he'll let you know when he's on his way to the car. So it was nice that I only had to wait like an hour because I've read a bazillion stories online where people get stranded and have to wait for hours and hours and hours to get a tow to their, local service center. And maybe part of that is because we do live in the Bay Area, so there's a zillion Teslas, and so they, there's tons of tow companies around here that can help out with that. So maybe that's, part of the reason why we didn't have to wait so long, but it is really nice that we didn't have to wait long at all to get the car towed and taken care of. So I was also happy that the tow truck driver seemed to know what he was doing. I'm sure it sounded like he had done a ton of Teslas because there are tons of Teslas in this area. And so he was really careful about it. He asked me which kind of variant I had, and I told him we have a rear wheel drive. And so basically what he did is he put these sliders under the rear wheels. So basically when he dragged the car onto the flatbed, because that's the only way he could get it onto the flatbed for transportation, it didn't ruin the motors because you don't want those wheels, the wheels with the motors dragged. And so basically it's like the car was just sliding and the wheels weren't moving. And then, the car went onto the flatbed. So because this was at nighttime, the tow driver towed the car to the local service center, but they were already closed. So what I ended up doing was just leaving the car there overnight. And then I had to come back the next morning to talk to Tesla and have them, take a look at the car and get it fixed. So a couple hours later, the customer service rep at Tesla called me back and he was like, hey, it looks like it's just the battery, but we're not going to be able to warranty it because you have an aftermarket frunk on the car, an auto frunk. And so he was kind of trying to blame it on that, saying, hey, it's drawing more energy, and that's why the battery died. But I've had this auto frunk for over 2 years, and so I know it's not that, because if it was, it would have died really fast after I put it, this aftermarket part on the car. I've also asked Tesla in the past about these aftermarket parts if they void warranty, and they've told me that it doesn't, as long as you can remove them. So it's a totally removable auto frunk, so it shouldn't void warranty, but in this case, the guy is basically claiming it does. And so I think this is partly Tesla, their employees not being all trained the same, and really sometimes it just depends who you get. So I was actually okay with this because batteries are normally a wear and tear item anyways, so I wasn't expecting it to be under warranty, but it was just kind of lame that he made that excuse, saying, hey, it's the auto frunk, that's why we're not going to warranty the battery. Pricing wasn't even that bad either. Out the door with labor, it was only $120. Which is almost basically the normal price you would pay for a, lead acid battery from the auto parts store. So it was actually kind of nice that I got it professionally, installed by Tesla, and it didn't cost me anything more if I were to do it, myself. So I was happy that it was an easy fix and it didn't leave us stranded for a long period of time. And to my surprise, when the rep told me that the car was done and he sent the final invoice via the Tesla app, he basically surprised me and was able to get it under warranty. So after all, I didn't have to pay for anything. So they did actually just warranty the battery, which is really nice because like I said, normally batteries are wear and tear, but they hooked it up and got it under warranty so I didn't have to pay anything. So that was pretty sweet, and I didn't even ask, which was really nice of him. So the moral of the story is if you have aftermarket parts, you're basically on your own with Tesla, and so it's a risk reward factor if you want to put the aftermarket parts on, because they might try and use that as an excuse to, not warranty some part. So now that Tesla does have a notification for the low 12-volt battery per the software, I'm not sure if I would 100% trust that. So if your car is about 4 years old or coming up on that age, you might want to just change the battery anyways for peace of mind and so you don't get stranded somewhere. Have you had your dreaded Tesla battery die on you? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments, and thanks for watching.